Wow, it's been quite a long time since I've done one of these. Hello YouTubers, this is the noobifier. On the 3rd of July 2025, there was an hour-long Star Citizen live, earning the verse Q&A. If you like the content and its no bullshit format, please consider subscribing so I can help to keep you up to date. Here's what you need to know. Jared began by highlighting that normal Star Citizen Live was done weekly, but this year they had changed the format, so they've actually only done 4, and it's already July. Jacob, senior gameplay programmer, is responsible for loot. Declan is system designer for inventory. Luke, who I recognize as a team lead, despite him not saying exactly what he does. Andre, who designs the economy. Nick said he does the same thing, economy. And we had lead mission designer. Andre was asked, how does he choose what is sold where? The answer seemed obvious, that the items would be made available based on the lore and the narrative. Salvage-like places might have more range of choice for salvage-like parts. They do need to bring life to the locations, and part of this is putting what should be where. Some items are specifically not available in a store, such as exclusive items, and of course, there will be crafting added later. This availability is for ships, weapons, and parts. Prices are baselined at the moment for thousands and thousands of items, and this is going to be tweaked. Nobody asked about Tony Z and where the subsumption system is that would be normally supposed to adjust this in a dynamic way. I'm sure that if someone asked directly about subsumption, the reply would be that the parts of subsumption systems are actually being or are already in the game somewhere. So comment in the comments with your comments if you're also interested to know where Tony Z is and where subsumption is. Perhaps we might get an update. They spoke about balance for risk and reward specific to items. They joked about artificially increasing the value level of a helmet by making it more expensive than normal, and apparently the community found it desirable, but it was just a normal helmet. They were asked if bugs are frustrating, and they said yes, of course, having a game break after the balance work has been done is super frustrating. They have a basic framework of what loot should go where and where you can find certain things, and then Luke said that loot has been done like this in other games since forever, and they have no need or desire to reinvent any of this. He said that Star Citizen has 4 main sets that are further broken down, and that each of those have 5 levels of rarity. They're going to be adding a way for you to visually see rarity from a distance like other games, and you've seen that before with white, green, blue, purple, and gold icons in other games. Then they said the same thing in a different way, confirming that you're more likely to find ammo in an FPS mission, and you're more likely to find mining items in a mining mission. Physicalized items and containers add complexity in Star Citizen that other games don't have to do, because, for example, super long items would have to have a super long box. Items are procedurally placed because imagine a developer needing to manually place tens of thousands of items, so there is a tool that distributes these based on a set of rules. Player housing will still allow us players to place individual items specifically where we want and have it persist. Mission rewards were ramped up in 2025, and this was done on purpose once meshing and elevators were added, because this was the next logical effort, and it works nicely with the focus on the content. Missions in general should have a better reward than a random box, but that's not exclusively the rule, and value is different to different people, and this is considered when choosing the payouts for the missions. They spoke a little bit how our game rewards are unique because the player may be encouraged to do space combat and then perform dismounted FPS combat in the same mission to get the reward. They spoke about issues and the next steps needed. Nested boxes are bugged, and that's going to be addressed soon. Multi-location drop-off during a mission is being explored to improve game enjoyment and reduce frustration. Favors and reputation are 2 additional types of currency that are being further polished. The missions will not always produce the same reward, improving the desire to repeat a mission over and over. Each mission will have a known set of possible rewards, but you're not guaranteed to get the one you specifically want each time. Jared read some comments from live chat, and then crafting is coming, so we knew about that. We got a big dump of info at CitizenCon last year. There are layers of foundational code that are needed before crafting is added, but loot boxes will eventually also include the components that you need to craft items, and these will be also based on rarity and quality. They demoed some updates to the inventory system. I'm just going to put that entire section at the end of this video, but it's all about optimization, enjoyment, and fun. This inventory system needs to be the focus, as it could make or break game enjoyment. Jared did an outro saying that we should jump onto the PTU and test. That's it. If you like the content and got something out of it, please consider sharing with a friend or orgmate. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the burst.
And then we kill the guy. Yeah, thank you. We killed a guy. Here he is. He's on the floor. So he would be accessible as one of the tabs up here, and then the inventory box would be over here. Same on the other side. And so when you press I to access the inventory, you can then access the dead bodies inventory, access your storage box. You can start moving stuff around without having to directly go up to the body, go to the box, press F. So it's much quicker to kind of get in there and start looting. We'll just get rid of all this. If we focus in on one of the panels, you can see it's called personal all. That's just kind of the default person would be on the left, and it's all because it's showing everything that is stored upon your person at that moment. If you wanted to see what is in your backpack in particular, you have these side tabs, and then we have a search function which has been added in. If you were to click this, a search box will come out over here, and you can search the item that you want. You have your select all, your opacity, you have your filters. These filters are kind of similar to Freight Elevator, where you have the drop down box with the subcategories here, and we're working on these filters being multi-purpose. What I mean by that is, at the moment, filters, you click them once and it means I want to see these items. If you were to click them twice, it would hide that category of item. Now, there's a lot of people with Freight Elevators full of decorations they don't really care about at the time, so they can just hide all the decorations if they want to. Clear filters, sorting options. When crafting comes in, this will be big because you want to sort by quality, items here, that kind of stuff. And then tucked away in the corner is stack all. So that's a nice quality of life addition as well.
just a nice little addition. Just a nice little addition.
Yeah. There he is.
Anything about maybe getting to name our boxes, label our boxes?
Yes, so this is your commodity box, and then this would be like a backpack, and one of the options will be to right click and just rename them. So you could say like, oh, this is my box with high quality Jana lighting, whatever.
You've given Boring Gamer, Salty Mike, and Space Tomato so much content for the next week.
Bro, we're not done. We've got tooltips and everything.
Oh my god, here he goes.
So as you can see, looking at the inventory, everything's a square now. Instead of it being a mix of squares and long rectangles, that'll also be applied to the freight elevator, so the ship guns won't take up half the screen. You get a lot more information available to you. We have the equipment panel, where I know I just said they weren't rectangles. These ones are, but regular weapons aren't. So I'm technically true, but also lying. You can equip your attachments super easy here. The 1, 2, 3 is basically like the slot they're in, and then again, if you were to look at your ammunition, you can see which weapon it's viable with. If we go over to the character, we have all the slots. The slots would be shown by default here, and they're contextual. So if you want to quickly see all the backpacks you have available to you, if you were to click the backpack slots, then the various inventories would filter to only show the backpacks. Yep, we have the new tooltips, which are very nice. Rather than being text, we have bars. You've got a bit of info here. When we have crafting, then the crafting, the person who made it would replace the manufacturer. So it's crafted by whoever it was crafted by. We have taken into consideration wear and tear with integrity and durability. And I suppose you know there's more than 3 stats on a weapon. So if you were to right click and details, you get the full view with the scroll bar, the attachments, description which can be expanded, and then if you hover onto an item of the same type, you'll see the comparison stats as well. You can make the icons bigger or smaller. If you've got bad eyes, you can make them a bit bigger. Elliot, don't make a joke about Nick. The thumbnails as well, obviously there's a problem where sometimes they don't load, or sometimes they appear as holograms. That's been worked on as well. We'll get that fixed. I think that's it. It's probably not everything. There's a lot of stuff that's going on.
No, yeah, it's not everything. We haven't talked about the imprinting and the stuff with item recovery v2 and stuff like that. But again, we just wanted to share a bit about at least the concept for the upcoming inventory revamp for folks in the chats that are saying 2026, 2027. Possibly.